Game Informer just dropped their next bit of Rise of Iron goodness, and today we're looking at the Khvostov in exotic form. So as you're probably aware, the Khvostov is the very first weapon that you get in the game, just some rinky-dink auto rifle meant to get you to the next area. But players grew pretty fond of the weapon, so Bungie wanted to bring it back in a cool way. The Khvostov doesn't exactly have an exotic perk, but rather its exotic nature comes from the fact that the weapon is very customizable. So how are you going to get this thing? Well, sort of like how we did the Sleeper Simulant quest line, we'll be finding Khvostov weapon parts in the Plaguelands as we play the game. You apparently only need one of them, which will start the quest chain that takes you back to where we all started our first characters, in those original spaces. Apparently, according to the article, if you still have the old original Khvostov, you can dismantle it for the weapon parts needed, and they don't really appear to be joking about that, but we'll need some in-game action and visuals first. Alright, so perks. The first two options are the scopes. You have the old original scope, and then you have the new scope, which gives you some more zoom, but drops some range and some stability. The next column lets you customize how the gun fires, so you can do full auto, you can do burst fire, or you can do semi-auto. If you select full auto, you can change the rate of fire from 450 RPM, which is the slow rate of fire auto rifle, to 900 RPM, which is the bullet hose style. Switching the two adjusts the stats of the gun accordingly to more represent which version you're actually using. The next two columns consists of some actual perks. We have hammer forged, rifled barrel, and braced frame. And the next column is extended mag, counterbalance, and rangefinder. So a lot of the better perks, which is good. The Khvostov's default perk on the left is lightweight, so you're getting 2 agility just for using the weapon for free. Finally, those two things on the right side are the weapon's ornament slots. So ornaments are still a little weird in that we know how they work, but not exactly. Once you get the weapon's specific ornaments, you'll be able to change how the gun looks. So at first glance, this feels like once you get the weapon's ornament, you slap it into the weapon and then it acts like a toggle. I don't know if that's how it'll actually work though, it's just a guess. So I think this thing has potential of being pretty good. In auto rifle form, if you wanted to use the bullet hose, I would definitely go for braced frame and counterbalance. That's a pretty potent combo. It does get a little bit of a stability bump from the bullet hose form, that 900 RPM, plus braced frame, plus counterbalance, and you're looking at something that is Doctrine of Passing-esque in terms of capability. And the Doctrine of Passing is still pretty good, in PvP at least. In PvE, I can't imagine you'll use the auto rifle form unless autos get some buffs in Rise of Iron. They haven't really been anything spectacular lately. They haven't been completely terrible, but they haven't been spectacular. When they swapped it to the semi-auto form, the stats didn't change to that of a scout rifle really, it just looked like some really minor adjustments. I'm not sure if that's final and it just fires really quickly, or if the stats weren't showing up, or how it'll end up working. But if it does turn into a true scout rifle, I imagine you'll probably use that or the pulse rifle variant for some general play. But any one of them seems fine for general questing, heroic strikes, etc. In the video, which I can't show, it looked like it was firing pretty quick in semi-auto, but I don't know if they were pulling the trigger as fast as possible or if they were just tapping it or what. As for the whole, you can dismantle an old Khvostov to get a weapon part thing, that seems like a very, very surprising move to make. It does reward people who chose to hold on to it, but first impressions from the community seem like most people would rather just find the part themselves in the Plaguelands than dismantling their original Khvostov. Granted, it's really easy to get an original Khvostov, but in order to get one, you would need to delete a character and then make a new one, and most people probably aren't up for that. But most people don't want to get rid of their original Khvostov either. I'm in the same boat. All I'll say for now is if you are going to delete a character and remake it, I would do it much sooner rather than later. Move all your stuff to the vault and other characters and just start grinding. It feels like a joke, but once again, the way it was written, it didn't really appear to be a joke. It seems real, but we gotta wait to confirm, obviously. Anyway, that is a preview of the exotic Khvostov. Overall, it seems like it'll be more good than it will be bad, especially because it's so customizable, and not only that, it's customizable with perks that are actually good, like among the best that you can possibly get. At worst, it'll experience the same fate that most auto rifles have been experiencing as of late, but I don't think this thing will be garbage tier or anything like that, especially with so many customization options. It might not be S tier either, but it's not going to be garbage. Before we go, in the video at the end, we find someone find a Splicer key. Not sure what that is just yet. I don't think it's the skeleton key for the strike specific loot, because I'm pretty sure those keys would have to drop from the boss, and the boss isn't dead in the clip. So, yeah, I don't know yet. Maybe it's the most difficult form of the Archon's Forge key thing. I don't know. Have to wait to find out. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.